Well, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? And we got Trolling Noobs over here. He's visiting you from Canada.
What's up? Representing OMG Bomber.
Changes his fucking name every day. Oh, yo, let me tell you guys something. That shirt over there, I've been trying to burn it all night. I'm telling you right now that by the time this guy leaves, that shirt's getting burned. I'm telling you guys.
I'm telling you guys now, living in this, representing while I'm here. OMG Bomber. Twitch TV/OMG Bomber.
Fuck Bomber, but anyway. So, I'm sure everybody has read the buffs so far, and you know what? They are pretty freaking sweet. Like, alright, we're going to start right now with the Water Hell Lady. Additional effect, destroys the enemy target's max HP by 30% of the damage dealt. Some people are saying that it's like a Camilla, it's good against Camilla. It's not only good against her, it's good against quite a few fire monsters as well. Like, what's his name? Kumar. And, like, the tanky fire monsters.
I think it might be interesting if you actually stack it with Destroy and just make it decimate.
And will it stack with Destroy?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
We're going to have to find out about that one. Then we got the Wind Hell Lady Capture. Additional effect. Guarantees a stun if the enemy at 30% hit point or less ignores resistance. And it ignores resistance as well. That's really good, actually. I didn't even read that buff when we were coming back. That's actually... She's a lot more worth it for Guild Wars now. Because it's a guaranteed stun. It ignores resistance.
That's crazy.
So
no accuracy required.
Yeah, you don't even need accuracy for that.
I actually kind of thought that they weren't going to do that again. I kind of thought that Tiana was going to be special, but I mean, it's on another Nat 5, so as long as it's not hitting Nat 4, I guess it's fair.
No, it's good. Then the Dark Hell Lady, if additional makes the revived ally invincible for one turn. I didn't read that either. How did I miss that part? Whoa!
I don't know. It's really small text when you're on the train.
Yeah, I know. Makes the revived ally invincible for one more turn. Whoa, that's actually pretty good. She brings them back with all their cooldowns. I think she brings them back with all their cooldowns, if I'm right. I don't remember that one actually. That part actually, but wow, that's actually pretty OP. The invincibility for one turn. All right, the Light Serpent got a buff. All the serpents actually. Damage increased by 8%. Chance to remove from 50 to 75%. YDCB will be happy about that one.
This is the YDCB patch. It's unfortunate for us, but that's what it is.
It is the YDCB patch in some ways. Awakened Wind Serpent. Yeah, Sonic Boom. Change the inflicting damage proportionate to the attack power to inflicting damage proportionate to your max HP. Chance to remove the beneficial effect increase from 50% to 75%. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's a nice little buff for him. The Water Serpent, nobody really uses him. It goes down from the tidal wave goes down from a 5-turn cooldown to a 4. I guess maxed out it's a 3-turn cooldown. All right. I mean, he's okay. Anyway, the Fire Serpent, Revenge, chance to provoke the enemy increase from 75 to 100% chance. Okay, the Wind Serpent again. The skill will now target all enemies instead of a single target. Damage changed according to the target change.
It's just going to do less damage because it's an AoE now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Dark Serpent, Dark Blast. This skill will now target all enemies instead of a single target. Damage. Okay, same thing again. Serpent, Light, Punish, Passive. The passive will now stack up to 10 times instead of 5. Oh, that's not so bad for him.
Yeah, it's going to be annoying in TOA hard, that's for sure.
You know what? I thought about building a Light Serpent at some point, and then I got the Fire Monkey King. So
yeah, they can always be kind of brutal on the hard floors already, and they're like, yeah, well,
you know,
we're gonna make him hit 100% harder.
Yeah, no, he's good. That's actually a nice buff. The monsters that didn't need these buffs were the samurais, and they got buffed. They got a big buff. I think this is a big buff, and I'm going to tell you guys why. But let's read this first. Sort of the Supreme Skywolf. Additional effect. Generates a shield proportionate to your level for one turn when sort of whatever is activated. Damage is increased by 12%. Alright, it needed the damage increase. But what really happened right now is, and usually that's the case when people are using the samurais on their offense, they use the third skill, so they try to get that 60% chance to proc the sort of the Supreme Skywolf. And let's say they didn't kill, or they wanted to keep the samurai alive for an extra turn. This shield actually helps them from surviving. Let's say it's a one-shot skill that it kills your samurai. Now it can actually survive an actual turn. So I like this buff on the samurai. It's not bad. They didn't need him. All the samurais got buffed. They kind of didn't need it, but now, especially sort of the Supreme Skywolf is doing 12% more damage. That's pretty big. That's
I'm coming out
huge.
and saying now, I think it's irrelevant. I don't think it's going to matter.
I think it's alright.
I think that the people that are using it for that, maybe it'll help some mid-game players a little bit, but it's not going to change anything end-game because you're killing stuff quicker than that combo's going off. So I think that's a mid-game change to almost trick you into building it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't like it.
You know what? It might even speed up some people's AOs in some ways.
Yeah, it might. But
on the higher level, and since the samurai surviving.
Once you start throwing at the higher level, I gotta step away from that one.
All right, so the beast hunters, all of them, aim body, additional effect destroys the enemy target's max HP by 10% of the damage dealt. Nobody really built any beast hunters anyway. I guess for the light and the dark, if you built the light or dark, the light one actually has a decent little kit. The dark one is horrible. All right, whatever. The water, wind, dark, aim head, damage increased by 10%, inflicts critical damage with a 30% chance. That changes, or it's added. Destroys the enemy target's hit points by 15%. So now the dark one has 2 skills that has a destroy effect on it.
I like that they're forcing destroy into the game right now
Yeah,
because we don't actually really know if it has uses or not because we haven't tested it very much. Like, there's not a whole lot of players that have tested it because things like Revenge and Nemesis are just so strong on paper and everything's so fast. But maybe we'll find uses now that they're forcing it on monsters.
Yeah, they really are forcing it on us now. The fire and light beast hunter aim weak silences the target with a 75% chance. Now it's a 100% chance. Okay. The fire beast hunter, the passive additional effect. If the attack fails to ignore defense, the next attack will have 5% increased chance to ignore the target's defense. Resets the attack. Okay. He's still fusion fodder. I don't think he's worth building. The wind one, destruction wedge, activates the harmful effect with a 75% chance to a 90% chance. Who cares? Anyway, so the chimeras, the fire chimera, Rakan, he got an additional effect on his 3rd skill, which some people say that he's still underwhelming, and he kind of is. I'm not going to say he's a great Nat 5, but he's not a horrible Nat 5. But this is a nice buff, especially for Guild Wars. Additional effect. Decreases the enemy's attack bar by 50% and decreases the attack speed for 2 turns. This is a good Chisun killer, straight up and down. If you don't kill Chisun with 1 hit, you're at least slowing her down by quite a bit.
This is one of the best mid-game to, until you have a one-shot on Chasun, which is almost nobody, killer in the game.
Yeah. And here's one thing.
Say which is almost nobody. Lots of coppers can do it, but there's lots of people that don't build a copper to do it. So
here's one more thing. You're pretty much denying a monster a turn because you're decreasing the attack bar by 50%, and then you're decreasing their speed also. So you're almost denying an entire turn with that skill. So it's really not bad. Some people still say it's underwhelming. Whatever. It's really not that bad.
And they're also changing his awakening ability. He used to awaken into resistance.
We're going to go over that later.
It's relevant with the abilities now, though.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a moment, though. That's when we get to that part. So we got the Wind Chimera now. Cooldown reduced by 1 turn, 6 to 5 turns now, and I guess max it's going to be like 4. Stuns the target with a 50% chance. Now it's up to a 75% chance. That's really not so bad, and that AoE hits hard anyway. So that's a big one.
Yeah, that was nice.
The Light Chimera now. This is where YDCB is going to be jumping for joy. Before, stuns up to 3 enemies, including the target, and heals yourself. If there are not enough enemies to stun, the excessive stun will heal allies with low hit point instead. The healing amount is based on your max HP. Fine. Now it's changed to stuns all enemies with an 80% chance, increases attack speed of all allies, and increases the attack bar of all allies. Really? It does all this? I didn't read this.
Yes, 25%.
Holy!
And I'm wondering, I could be wrong entirely on this, but I'm wondering if it's going to skill up to 100% chance. I really hope not, but there's a chance that that's going to go to 100% stun rate.
This is almost like a little bit of a Bernard buff.
Oh, it's insane. It's going to be.
Oh wow! You know what? His base. What does he get when he's awakened? Does he get 15 more attack speed? Like the other one?
I don't remember what he gets when he gets awakened.
Whoa! I wonder what his base attack speed is.
I'll look right now.
Whoa! That's actually a really huge buff for him. This is enormous.
I told you on Subway that it's the biggest buff on there. Rakan got the biggest buff, or not Rakan, fucking Sean got the biggest buff of everybody.
What's his? 95. So it's 95. All right. So, you know what? It's still a good buff. It's not as huge as I thought it might have been, but it's still a really good buff. He only has a base speed of 95, so he's not going to be able to pull a lot. But you know what? Just the fact that he increases the attack speed, though, at the same time is really huge. Anyway, this is a buff that everybody's been waiting for, is the Occult Girls. The Occult Girls, especially the Fire one, needed a buff. All right. The Water one, people are going to sit there and say, no, she really needed a buff. She kind of didn't. She was good no matter what, but she got the buff. Good for her. Maybe this will shut a few people up. But anyway, that's besides the point. And I already know we're going to see shots fired in the comments. But whatever. Anyway, so we got the Help Me Teddy. Now there's instead of a 20% chance to sleep, 25% chance. They were already sleeping, but anyway, who cares? So we got the Water and the Dark Occult Girls. Recovery amount increased by 14% on the heal, which is good. Her heal was a little, depending on how her hit points were, or how her attack was a little underwhelming. The Water Occult Girl, instead of a 30% chance to do an AoE defense break for 3 turns, now it's a 40% chance,
which is huge.
Yeah,
it's going to land
huge.
So much more than it lands.
It is, yeah,
way more.
The Dark Occult Girl, damage increased by 11%. I believe this is her. Yeah, this is her 3rd skill. Damage increase, and this skill hits 5 times, not 3 like the Water Occult Girls. Disturbs hit point recovery instead of a 15% chance. Now it's a 30% chance. That's actually really good.
Wow.
Yeah, I like the Dark Occult Girl. And then, all right, we've got the Living Armors Pulverized. This is the 1st skill. Additional effect decreases attack speed of the target for 2 turns if the target is under defense reduction effects. Oh wow! So it stuns and it decreases attack speed. That's not so bad.
No, it's pretty solid.
That's really good for all of the Living Armors. That's pretty good. The Light Living Armor. This skill will now hit 1 enemy 3 times instead of hitting all enemies 3 times. Oh, this is a nerf. Damage change according to the target chances. Disturbs the hit point recovery with a 50% chance.
They're making them
No,
better.
it's doing an 80% chance now. Cooldown has been reduced by 1 turn. Whoa!
They're making these for raid. They're adding additional skills onto skills that weren't necessarily doing anything for raid to make it so you can use them in raid.
Yeah,
that's what's
true.
happening here.
This is very true. This is very true.
That's cool.
But what did that skill do before other than disturb hit point? Alright, whatever. He could actually tank the front line in raid.
But you said Copper now on a stun also slows, right? That's what you said?
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. They're making these guys so they can be viable frontliners for raid.
Well, Copper was already a viable frontliner.
Well, he was borderline. He was doing, it was nice to have, if you could pull it off, to have the damage, but now it makes it a lot easier. It makes it easier for more people to pull it off than just people with the absolute top runes.
He's doing the damage now, too.
Yeah,
he's doing the damage and he's doing the debuffs. Yeah, that is sweet. So the Dark one.
Oh, I need rune inventory.
The Dark one. Additional effect. Blocks beneficial effects for 2 turns with a 50% chance. Change from inflicting damage proportionate to attack power and defense to inflicting damage proportionate to defense only. Okay, this is an additional effect. So he was also doing an attack down, and now it blocks beneficial effects. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. Water and the Light Monkey King. All or nothing. Activates the harmful effect with a 75. Alright, now it's a 100% chance he's going to reduce the attack bar, which is. He needed something like that. The Water Monkey King, he kind of did need another buff.
That's AoE, right?
That's AoE, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
it's
buff.
It's 100% chance. That's a good buff, yeah.
That's a really good buff.
The Light Monkey King, Giant Net, activates all harmful effects with an 80% chance as opposed to 75. Okay. I think he had an AoE weaken defense and a sleep at the same time. Something like that. I forgot what he did exactly.
Definitely AoE defense break. I don't remember what the other one is.
The AoE defense break was the summon clouds. We're gonna get to that now. Oh no, that was the light one. Sorry. Activate. No, so now we're up to the dark one. Summon clouds. Activates the harmful effect with a 50% chance. Guaranteed defense reduction and stuns the target with a 50% chance. Whoa. Guaranteed defense reduction. That means it can't be resisted. I think.
It says guaranteed, doesn't it?
It says guaranteed, so I don't see any reason for it to be resisted. That's pretty good on the Monkey King. It's the Dark Monkey King. He's going to be really good now, yeah.
If you could build a strong enough unit, you might...
And a 50% chance to stun also, so he's doing a double effect over there. That's huge.
You now have your guaranteed defense break with your Tiana with your guaranteed buff removal.
Yeah.
That is huge. It sucks it's a dark monster. Maybe I'll hit it. Maybe I'll hit it on summons.
Good luck. Alright, so the Dark Brownie Magician, Kindness Gone Wrong, removes the harmful effect with a 75% chance instead. Alright, now it's a 100% chance. Why only the dark one, though? Anyway, whatever. The Minotauruses, guaranteed to provoke the enemy when landing critical hits. Okay. Minotauruses are so underwhelming, they still are. Slaughter, additional effect, recovers 20% after attacking. 20% hit points after attacking for the water, wind, and dark. Honestly, who cares about the Minotauruses? The Minotauruses, they're beyond underwhelming. So we got the Fire Succubus, brutal and reduced cooldown from 6 to 5. Actually, that's not so bad. The Fire Succubus, that's the AoE.
Does it have 2-turn cooldown already off it? Like, is that down to 3 turns now?
What?
Like, did she
the
get
third
2,
skill.
Does she get 2 skill up, like 2 cooldown reductions from skill up stuff? Like,
I think so. Yeah, it might be.
That's down to 3 turns. That could actually be really strong.
And it has a decent.
It has high scale. It just has shit base attack, so it's still not. But
no, it's not a bad buff for her. She really didn't need. She's pretty much still a fusion fodder, but whatever.
It might be. I don't know. That's one where I'm curious to see. That one might go places. But I'm so against building it because it's fire, and World Boss wants me to build water monsters.
So now we got the Wind Kobold Bomber. The effect of increasing the enemy's skill cooldowns by 1 turn will now also include passive skills. So now you can use it against Theomars and Perna.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
So now that's a really big buff for the Wind Kobold Bomber. He kind of needed it because Malaka's a much better one than him.
They gave that one for Theomars, not for Perna.
Yeah,
that's a Theomars gift, which makes sense since everyone gets Theomars.
They
don't want you to just be able to beat down Pernas that easily. In that.
So now we got the Fairies. Water, wind, light. What Armada? Oh, forget it. Anyway. Water, wind, light. The skill will now remove the harmful effect and then recover instead of recovering first and then removing the harmful effect. I thought that already got it put in. Anyway, whatever. I get that's how much I use Fairies. The Fairy Queen, same thing. Okay, and then the Howls. Skill will now remove harmful effect and then recover instead of. I thought this got implemented a long time ago.
You know what? For some reason, I thought I got implemented on the Howls, but not on the Fairies. But I guess it was wrong for both of those.
I thought they implemented this in the Howl.
Yeah,
like last year or
something. I knew they didn't do the Fairies, but
I thought they did it on the Fairy also because I remember the Fairy doing that. And then I thought they did it.
Just being taking it off, but regardless,
okay.
Fairies are shit.
Whatever, I'm confused. No, the Light Fairy's pretty good.
Light Fairy's niche. You can use it for TOA hard, but I still think the Light Golem's better.
All right, so the Polar Queen, Fire, Light, Aura of Dawn, cooldown reduced by 1 turn. Oh, okay. Yeah, the second skill, correct? Yeah, it's the second skill. Yeah. I don't have a Polar Queen, so I don't remember exactly.
Which what?
The Fire and the Light ones.
Oh no, that's oh yeah, it will be the second because Brandia's got another buff.
Yeah, Brandia got another. This skill will no longer remove stun and freeze effects.
Which, you know what? People might say, oh, well, Brandia one-shot stuff all the time. But the reality is that you can play almost a game of chicken with Brandia. You can build her hybrid tank DPS because she hits so hard that you don't have to build her full damage. You can do that on violent too.
You guys don't need to do 200k damage. There's no reason to do 200k damage. There's nothing above 60k 60k top hit points.
Any PvE scenarios, because now even more so it's pulling off your defense break and your unrecoverable and your slows. Like it made it worse for PvE, but it was already bad for PvE. Yeah. So now it's way better for PvP because if you don't one-shot or you get screwed out of a crit or you have a glancing buff on you and if you decide to glance, you're in a much better situation.
It's fine that
Brandy is actually pretty tanky.
Alright, so we're on to the Elven Ranger Light. Steady Shot. The damage dealt against frozen, stunned, and sleeping enemies will be increased by 50% instead of 30%. Okay, I mean, nobody really uses the Light Elven Ranger anyway. Isn't that the one that you get off the bat? Yeah, you get that one from the...
Yeah, I don't think I ever took them out of my achievement, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you get that one. The Dark Elven Ranger, supportive fire, the passive, damage increased by 25%. When that was a Holo Heroes, that passive was actually really annoying.
That's fucking OP.
Yeah, it is.
Holy wow, that's a big buff.
I kind of like this buff. Everybody's saying that she's still a little underwhelming. This is on the Lumerecia. Pretty much, they reduced her cooldown. What's going on here is Sylphid Water and then Sylphid Awakened. She's going down to a 4-turn cooldown, I believe now.
I think it's a 3-turn cooldown.
3-turn
already
maybe.
on 4.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a 3-turn cooldown, which isn't bad. It's a full heal at a 3-turn cooldown. It's not bad at all. Guild Wars purposes,
It
and
makes
she's
sense
still a little
too.
bit of a niche monster.
It makes sense. I bet you there's going to be a way to put it on defense that's annoying. I still don't think it'll be great, like guild battle defense. But
Yeah, it can work.
Mid-tier will be usable.
Yeah.
And once again, it'll come back to it'll be even easier to do the Lumi solo dragons really early on. If you get one really early on and you can skill her up or get her third skilled up, or maybe even if you don't get it max skilled.
You need the first and third to get skilled up.
Yeah, for the dots, but it'll make it easier. Like it'll lower the threshold for doing that.
Yeah, it does actually lower the threshold by a lot. He's right about that.
And it won't be a complete waste afterwards, because after you're done farming dragons, it'll still be good in Guild Wars.
Okay. Yeah, it's still good in Guild. I use her in Guild Wars sometimes. So we got the Fire Sylphid now. Alright. Additional effect removes all harmful effects. So basically she heals everybody 100%. And she removes all harmful effects. Again, this is niche. She's probably okay with Chimera. She'll be super annoying. Let's say you have Chimera and her on the same defense. Or even offense in some ways. She'd be super annoying. Are you going to use her? Not really. But whatever. And she has the attack bar reduction in her passive as well, where she reduces the attack bar by 10%, and then she has the other skill where she increases the attack bar of everybody every 2 turns by 20%. She seems like she's going to be an even more annoying monster to deal with in TOA hard. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to be going on. Removes all harmful effects. Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing.
Bring us Aeros, everybody.
So we got the Wind Sylphid, a Cassis. Her cooldowns go down from a 4-turn to a 3-turn cooldown on her shield. Pretty much her shield could be up at all times. I think it's already on a 3-turn.
Yeah, it's 3 and 3.
Yeah, so her shield can be up at all times.
It makes sense that they're doing that with them. They want to make them useful again. Plus, then you've got things like Lumi, whose defense buff is 100% up. Or not Lumi, sorry. Mihil, whose defense buff is up 100%.
Yeah.
So, they're just trying to make her more on par with the one that's kind of usable.
Yeah.
In niche situations.
So we got the Assassins. Damage is increased for all the Assassins by 6%. That's cool. Not bad. They were already hitting kind of hard, but alright. So the Water, Fire, Light, Death Verdict, there's an increased chance to put branding effect, which is cool. That's a really good, from 50 to 75. And then something that wasn't needed. The third skill on the Wind Assassin, damage increased by 4%. Notice, I've never seen 4% on any monster. Yeah. They increased it by 4%. It wasn't even needed. Maybe they just threw that.
Number crunching.
Yeah.
That's what it needed.
That's exactly what happened over there. It was some crazy number crunching, and they came up with 4%. But anyway, so Water and Light Phantom Thief. So now their second skill is Arrest. Skill will now attack up to 3 enemies, 1 guaranteed target, and 1 or 2 random targets instead of targeting 1 enemy and attacking up to 3. Damage is increased by 20%. Decreases attack speed with a 60% chance. Now it's up to an 80% chance. Look, Arrest has a really high
multiplier?
Yeah, damage multiplier. The thing is that both of them have the worst probably base attacks in the game. So it's just an added bonus for both the Water and the Light. The Water one, actually, if you put him on Despair Runes, now he's a lot better. He's going to be good for Guild Wars too. Because I thought he was more of an arena monster, but now he'd be alright for Guild Wars just for this skill right here. The way they did it. Attacks a little randomly. So now we're back to the Water Phantom Thief. The cooldown is reduced actually on his third skill. From 6 to 5, so skilled up it'll be 3, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's 3, which isn't bad at all actually. That's pretty good. Actually, that's a pretty big buff for the Water Phantom Thief. And then the Light Phantom Thief, I have one. I've had one for over a year. I never 6-starred him. Reduces your current hit points by 50%. Now, it balances your hit points instead of reducing it by 50%. It could be useful. You never know. Maybe you pair him with Shashoon and make them annoying as possible, both of them. Phantom Thief Dark Elaborate Plan. A critical rate increases by 20%. Now it's got a 50% crit damage increase. Alright.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, but I don't know.
Fatal sets capitalize off that big time?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, they do actually. Fatal sets actually do. You're right. 100% right. So I actually really, really like this buff. Alright, the Nine-Tailed Fox. All these monsters got the same exact buff. The Fox, the Phoenix, the Water, Fire, and Light Oracles, and the Wind Brownie Magician. Here's the deal. I never noticed it with any of the other monsters because I don't use the Brownie Magician in dungeons, but I use Praha in dungeons. I used to use her. I haven't used her. The reason why I never used Praha in dungeons was because she was a bimbo, and she used to sit there and use her second skill when there was no buff, and then all of a sudden, like in Dragons, all of a sudden it's got an immunity buff, and she wasted her skill before they even put up immunity.
Yeah, it made it real painful.
So she was a real bimbo. Now they made her a little smarter. She's actually this is huge. This is huge for people that are more into the mid game and instead of the late game. Like I used to get a lot of people asking me, "Can I take Praha instead of Bella to Dragons?" And I used to say no for that exact reason. I still think Bella's better just because you get the armor break in that kit. But it's a lot more useful now. It works. It works out pretty well for all of these monsters right there.
It was
so
a
it's
huge
nice
buff
one.
for arena defense too. Because think about it. There's lots of people that they will risk.
This is only in dungeons.
Oh, does it say only in
Yeah,
dungeons?
the dungeon area.
Oh,
yeah.
never mind. Forget that. Well, that's fucking gay. Why would they do that?
I know. But she needed it in dungeons, bro.
Yeah, but they need it everywhere.
I know, but in dungeons she
why would you
really
make that
needed
kind of a
it.
change?
I'm telling you, she was a real bimbo. In
I guess some
dungeons.
people want the chance for the despair and they leave it at that, but that doesn't seem right to me. It should fucking do
I'm
it.
telling you, she was a bimbo in dungeons.
It
You
should
just
do
got
it.
Praha. I've been using her for a long time, bro. She was my only net 5. She was a real bimbo in dungeons. Check and destroy. This is just a skill description. Who cares about the skill description? Some skill errors have been fixed. The Dark Penguin Knight fixed an error where contaminated blood passive and poison body passive activates twice when Werewolf, Dark, and Mummy Wind are attacked with this skill. Okay. I never seen it. Whatever. Fairy King, Rageful Return passive. Fixed an error that occurred when contaminated blood passive and poison body passive from using the skill. Okay. I didn't even know that this skill... This
They
had
basically had a bunch of interactions with
with other passives.
with the Dark Werewolf passive.
Yeah, and the same thing again with the other one.
But wasn't the other one an interaction with the Dark
With the
Werewolf
dark,
passive
no,
again?
the Dark Fairy King fixed an issue of skill cooldown increasing effects, overwhelm in electric bomb working properly. All right, I guess they fixed that on their own. Eye of the Storm fixed an issue of this skill not working in Necropolis. I didn't know that. Why would you take Leo to Necropolis anyway? Anyway, his passive wasn't working in Necropolis. Whatever.
I guess it'd be violent procs and you have a slow on the boss already.
What's slow? But his passive
It's not for, it's not for round one. It's for like it's once you get in. I'm not saying I don't think it'd be
It doesn't
good,
work. His passive doesn't work at all on the boss. Even the second part of his passive doesn't work on the boss.
Oh,
It doesn't work at all. The Harp, the Fire Hark.
so that was just for the trash you're saying.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, fixed an issue with harmful effects not being removed when this skill is activated on yourself. All right. Fixed an issue of contaminated blood passive and poison body, but not activated. All right, this is just weird issues that I didn't even know about. The Dark Inferno Last Curse passive again. Fixed an issue that occurred with skills with recovery on enemy kill effects, slaughter, slap. Okay, whatever. And then the Archangel Light. I didn't know that this was an issue. Now that floor is going to get harder now. Fixed an error of the attack bar not increasing when attacked with a critical hit while under an ability effects. Alright, so it's not going to help that board.
Yeah, it won't change that.
Yeah, it won't change that. So the awakening effects of... So this is what Trolling was talking about before. On the Fire Chimera, the resistance, instead of him gaining 25% resistance, he gets 25% accuracy. Which makes sense with what he was saying, now that they changed the passive. But they also did this to the Light Chimera as well. So...
Land those stunts.
Yeah, he's going to be landing those stuns. They're going to be doing a lot over there. So now we got another skill level change on the Light Chimera. Skill upgrade. Increased recovery amount. Increases chance of activating harmful effect as well. So that's your boy YDCB right there.
Yeah, congratulations YDCB on your awesome patch.
Chimera Light. Again, the monster type has been changed from support to attack. And the stats have been modified correspondingly. This is going to be huge. You know why for this Chimera? For his Squall ability. Now, the Squall is going to be doing crazy damage on him. Just stay tuned for YDCB's next video. You'll see. And then Monkey King, Water. This this is actually a huge buff for the Monkey King. He's got attack stats now. I like this on him. He was a little underwhelming before. Some people are saying, well, OP, if you have OP runes. Now you don't need OP runes for him to hit really hard. That's the difference.
I might actually go by.
Yeah, no, that's actually one of the better
I wonder
buffs.
how much more he's going to do on World Boss now.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. I like this buff on the Monkey King, but so yeah, that's pretty much all with the buffs. These buffs were great. They answered a lot. Where's the Rika buff? How come I didn't go over the Rika buff? That's what you know what? I think I skipped the Fire Occult Girl. You know what? I know for a fact I skipped the Fire Occult Girl because we didn't talk about that before. Damage increased by 6%. Decreases attack speed with a 30% chance. That went up to a 40% chance. Before you guys say I skipped Rika, by the way. And then guaranteed critical hits to an enemy. This changes to inflicts continuous damage. Now. So she's like a TOA hard queen, Rika. And then the wind one too. How did I skip all this? Oh, you know what? I went straight from the Water Guardian Angel to the Dark Guardian Angel, and that's it. And then the Wind Guardian Angel. Damage increase to 6%. Increases the glancing hit chance with a 30% chance to a 40% chance. From a 30% chance to a 40% chance. And then the attack par reduction. This is the most important part. It goes from 10 to 15% chance. Yeah. So I think she can knock down your attack bar from 30 to 45%. Not chance, but 15%. Instead of knocking it down 10%, it's knocking it down to 15%. That's a good Nemesis counter, number one. And you know what? If you're proccing Nemesis now, if you weren't before, that 6% increase doesn't even make a difference. This is really good.
That's going to be really strong TOA hard as well.
It's going to be really strong with wombo combos, too.
Yep.
She's a good occult girl. Other people rate them really low. Top 10 worst. I'm sorry, but the wind one wasn't the top 10 worst. And now, the fire one is a really good TOA hard monster. So, anyways, guys, we got to do a guild war. That's going to be in another video, probably tomorrow or the day after. But, thanks for watching. I'll talk to everybody later. Don't forget to subscribe. Check him out, Trolling Noobs 420. Twitch.tv/Trolling Noobs 420. And don't worry, I'll be burning this shirt by the end of the fucking week. Alright? Have a good night, guys. Or have a nice day.